Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS news for Wednesday, July 25. Operations at the West Indies Alumina Company, Windalco, are expected to continue at least until October 23. That's when a waiver granted by the United States Office of Foreign Assets Control expires. Uncertainty loomed over the bauxite company following the imposition of U.S. sanctions against part owners of Windalco, UC Rusal. Jamaica was, however, successful in lobbying the United States government for a waiver to continue wind-down operations while it considers the future of the company, including a possible buyback of UC Rusal's shares.
We are therefore pleased to know that from our efforts of representation, the response from the U.S. OFAC is a positive one. We will, as always, continue to monitor the situation closely and make our best efforts to protect the workers, the environment, and the revenues to Jamaica, while keeping the interests of the community and the country in mind.
Transport and Mining Minister Robert Montego gave the update during Tuesday's sitting of Parliament. In a letter dated July 18, the U.S. government agreed to the waiver, allowing Windalco to purchase supplies to sustain its operations and conduct business with banks and their intermediaries. This will allow the 1,200 workers at the Ewerton plant to keep their jobs.
We acknowledge that it is not the long-term solution, but a positive step in the right direction. We continue to make our best efforts to ensure that Windalco operations remain open and continue to make their positive contribution to the economy.
Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, has implemented several strategies to increase property tax collections. Property tax compliance for the first quarter of 2018-2019 reveals more work needing to be done to achieve the annual target of $10 billion. During April to June 2018, just over $3.7 billion was paid by property owners. That's slightly more than the $3.6 billion collected in the same period last year. TAJ's Commissioner General Ainsley Powell says the establishment of property tax compliance teams working directly with local government officers is among its measures to encourage more payments. A special compliance improvement project which monitors large taxpayers, accounting for approximately 10,000 clients, is one other strategy recently implemented.
Those are some of the key things that we are trying to do at TAJ to assist in how do we get this partnership to be as robust to meet the target.
The TAJ is also regularly reviewing its payment channels and strengthening its online, inline, and mobile collection methods. Last year, property tax collection came in at about 88% of the overall $9.6 billion target. Jamaica has pledged to use its share of CARICOM to lobby members on ensuring that the University of the West Indies remains a viable institution. The regional institution, which is partly funded by CARICOM member states, is owed over $20 million. The debt was acknowledged by the group, and plans are now advanced to have it addressed.
We must always recognize that to maintain the institution of higher learning is critical in our long-term development. Short-term gains by holding back on any of our contribution is, in fact, long-term damage to the entire Caribbean community.
Acting Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang made the commitment at a welcome gala reception for the university's Chancellor Week. The July 23 to 29 event commemorates the institution's 70 years of educating the region. 15,000 young people will be trained for high-level jobs in the business process outsourcing BPO sector over the next 3 years.
Appreciate that the skills areas are the areas that are most important now. Why are they most important now? Because technology is replacing the easy-to-do areas.
The Education State Minister was speaking at a recent youth enrichment program consultation on crime and violence held at the Sea Gardens Hotel in Montego Bay. The program is a collaboration between the Ministries of Education and National Security. It aims to remove the stigma associated with inner-city youth by providing an opportunity for them to gain a skill, employment, or to continue their education. Young mothers in rural communities will now benefit from the additional resources at the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation.
3 outreach stations have been upgraded to main centers. The Junction Outreach in St. Elizabeth has become the Junction Center. The Denby Outreach in Clarendon has become the Denby Center.
The Foundation's Executive Director, Dr. Zoe Simpson, was addressing its 40th anniversary Long Service Awards ceremony in New Kingston recently. Dr. Simpson says the upgrading of these 3 outreach posts brings the number of main centers across the island to 10 and outreach stations to 8. She says the medium and long-term plan of the foundation is to upgrade the remaining 8 outreach centers to main center status before its 50th anniversary. And finally, Jamaica and Namibia have agreed to pursue cooperation between their ports. The countries made the pledge during Prime Minister Andrew Holness's tour of Namibia's largest port, Namport, on Tuesday. Mr. Holness has also met with the Jamaican and Caribbean diaspora in Namibia. The southern African country is the first stop on his assignment to the African continent. The Prime Minister is slated to participate in the 10th BRICS Summit being held in Johannesburg, South Africa from July 25 to 28. BRICS is an acronym for a grouping of the world's emerging economies, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.